Squablo. Mafidor. Flood ship. Mischkager and sight.
Sturmhawk and Hagenlock.
Squablo. Skandaravag. Kivlavny shoes. Squablo to Complash. Mershkabaz. Heflick. Curve to Vlashev. Mafidor. Genocide Hemslag. Mischkager. Kivlavny shoes.
You've read Klavna's mission and Klavna match proves in Zimbar. Oh, Sturmhawk and Hagenlock. Thug him up to Mercedes for his flag. Ramsala. Oh.
Squablo to Complash.
Nakayak, Neskablem,
Curve to Vlashev. Skandaravag. Drovelin.
Slavna Revnevez, Blim Saluchavli, Kandri Sanawi.
Mishka George. Hem Sek. Mafi Nerf. Squab low. Mishka Maz.
You're really qualmed up an insert. Oh, Hadalite.
Moving up class. Kevlavni shoot. Curve to Vlashev. Hemflick. Mishka George. Flipship. Mafi Nerf.
Card flag. Let's have a laugh.
Squab low. Zoomy left. One trip.
And Sir Ramanesh, grovel him. It's a
But proving my point further.
Must not point out hypocrisy.
But they are mutants! They rebel against humanity!
Anyone who takes action and rebels against humanity, you are allowed to put down. But not all river dolphins rebel.
What? The dolphins? What?
All mutants rebel.
But they do! They rebel against your perfect form with their unnatural powers and suck-ugly faces!
In that same vein, you are rebelling against me for being bald and having a stupid profile.
But I can fix this! I can get hair transplants! I will get hair transplants, my emperor! I am no rebel! I can also get plastic surgery, please, my emperor! I am no rebel! I will be beautiful for you!
Just fell in your own eugenic trap. Just because you can get hair transplants does not mean you can grow actual hair. This effectively means you are deviating from my being this perfect form you keep screaming about. I had hair as blue and beautiful as a cool waterfall in yellow oasis, yet your head is as barren as buttons already.
No! My head is heresy! No, the hairless head, for it is impure!
Goodness. Alright, before you fucking scalp yourself, listen. I do not want you to look cavalier side in my name you deranged cube ball. In fact, I do not want you, or your templars, to slam down your gigantic fucking pressure levels on any more humans, no matter how wretched they may look, unless, of course, they are actual revealing no-holds barred, peer-reviewed and certified traitors of humanity.
Kevlapny shoes.
But my
And sight.
they cause unrest and rebellion wherever they go. If we were to spare them, war would break loose.
Okay, how about this? Let us start with some baby steps. Just like how you can get hair transplants to fill that blank space on your round glossy head, you can simply call on the black ships in the case of the Cyclones, and as for the rest, you can just cover up their buck-ugly faces with blankets or masks, or full body suits, or whatever else. Really, I do not care all too much what you do as long as you do not straight up murder them in cold blood. It is a waste of resources, time, and fluids. Save your for and work. They are just as ugly as any given mutant. And seeing how many Marines you have in the Black Templars, I would say you are expending a few too many bolts on fish faces and ratlings.
I understand. The odious mutant numbers will not unify us no more.
We are making great progress. Correct. Can you not feel your energy should evaporate and rise like steam off your stoveplate up ahead?
No, my Emperor, I remain absolutely fucking livid.
Do not worry, it is merely your slow idiot brain that has yet to catch up with the fact that you are a changed man. Your hatred will dissipate, much like your legion. Even High Lords and the Inquisition found out about the actual number of Marines under your command.
Those fools have no power over us. What great deed have they performed that can match ours? We have continued your great crusade in your absence, having gone through the galaxy for 10.
It's 1,000, right?
Correct. Now, guess how many the Black Templars have?
Maybe 3,000? That's 3 entire chapters in one. That's a lot.
Interesting. What does the Black Templar Codex say about this?
Well, it is rather vague, as it is only an estimate, but it says... between 5,000 and 6,000 Marines are in the Black Templars.
Holy Mundus Plague!
Stop that dead joke!
Damn, that's practically an entire legion.
Wow, Legume. Does that mean it's Legume Soup Day?
Furthermore, it also says that the only one who knows the true number of Marines in the Black Templars is the High Marshal himself.
Time to spill those Templar beans.
So it is Legume Soup Day?
Silence. Relax. Your crusade is not ending.
Oh. Good, that's good. In that case, yes, we are 6,551 strong.
Goodness.
10 millennia. I do not see why other chapters could not do the same. In fact, every single chapter in existence should strive to reach the same heights. Renounce that shitty legislation and start building legions again, I say.
Sir, perhaps this should be discussed in finer detail with the High Lords before being properly legislated.
No! You heard our Emperor! Fuck the rules! They are dead! Hear me, my Astartes brothers! Join us on our eternal crusade in the name of our Emperor! Purge this galaxy of unseen nodes, heretics, and mutants! Codex
Trooper. Proceed.
Oh, yes. As a standard, the Black Templars do not adhere to the Codex Astartes, but instead follow the Oath of Sigismund. They are a fleet-based chapter, of course, with no official
Believe me, we have tried this!
Right, yes. So, the closest thing they have to this fortress monastery is the High Marshal's own Gloriana-class battle.
The Eternal Crusader is not a fortress monastery! Only weak, feeble conformists submit to the will of a book. The Eternal Crusader is the sacred spiritual home of we Templars, having been our esteemed father Rogel George's favorite spectacle during the early days of the Great Crusade. The greatest of its kind.
Yes, it's great. Incredibly great. Not a fortress monastery, of course. It's just your spiritual home and the base of operation. And, of course, a great boat. I'm certain its musky engineeriums vibrate your pancreas just right. Anyway...
I do not have pancreas! A filthy orc took them in glorious battle! I made him choke on them!
Quiet.
for just a moment, Sir Knight.
Silence is for the brave!
You're standing in the Palestine's grave right now, so shut.
Thank you. So, the Black Templars are almost entirely fleet-based, and they are rarely assembled in their entirety. They are instead divided into a number of smaller crusades going off on their own.
That's what I mentioned earlier. Remember that, Adorable? Remember when I mentioned that? Because I did. I did mention that.
If the Templars' crusade is actually just many crusades going on at the same time, is it really a crusade?
Of course it is!
It might be less confusing if you called the smaller crusades sub-crusades, like Sir Eggplant smartly did earlier. I mean, sorry, it's of course just a suggestion.
Were you just referring to me?
So our holy crusades are beneath the title of crusade to you? Is that what you are saying, small person? I will teach you to respect our fucking terminology, you subsized, subhuman piece of shit!
Whoa, hey now.
Shut your mouth, Sigismund. I'm tired of your constant, overly aggressive whining. You will learn to take criticism, or I will personally assign you to an anger management class in the Eye of Terror. Am I making myself clear?
Did you just call me Sigismund?
I highly recommend you take the Sentry Bear's advice. The furious fire burning in your loins are like frail embers compared to the cold abyss of rage you are about to drop into.
I do not understand a word of what you just said, my emperor, but I shall abide by...
Right, so... The Black Templars only have a few crusades ongoing at any given time. The size of these crusades vary entirely based on necessity, depending on wherever they are intended to operate.
Just imagine if the Black Templars decided to deploy their entire legion in a single operation. The conflict would be over before a single Guardsman regiment has the time to go die.
Now you're pushing it.
Is optimism anathema to you?
Yes. So, the crusades are most often fairly simple in their final goals. Fine. Reconquer planets, kill hostiles. When a world has been conquered by the Black Templars, they usually set up chapter keeps, which serves as a potent reminder that the Emperor is always watching, in the form of giant, angry bolter monks playing Lincoln Loyalist songs at full blast all day, every day.
Well, Lincoln Loyalist, tasteful.
The primary purpose of these fortresses, other than to act as trashy Space Marine nightclubs, is to find new recruits from the planet's populations, as well as acting as staging posts for future crusades.
I have certain their recruitment requirements is for the potential recruit to approach the building and make a personalized complaint.
I mean, yeah, if you're courageous enough to do that, knowing what ill fate awaits you, you deserve to become a Space Marine.
You speak of our secret recruitment trials like they are some kind of joke. Stop.
Yes, they are a bit crazier when it comes to choosing the cream of the crop, as they say. And every single Black Templar is a champion and a hero of hundreds of campaigns, allegedly. And even before that transition from small boy to strong superhuman, it is made certain that only the recruits with true potential are picked out. Many are harvested from fierce warrior cultures on the deadliest of death worlds, just to make sure they are a stocky bunch even before the increased muscle growth is administered.
You know, considering these chapter keeps are their primary, if not sole, recruitment drives, it sounds strange to the point of contradictory that a majority of recruits are from fierce warrior cultures of death worlds. I mean, how often do death worlds need reclaiming when compared to, say, hive worlds, or forge worlds, or even agri worlds? I would have thought Black Templars had their keeps erected on such planets rather than death worlds and the like, considering the fact that populated planets are more at risk of being attacked and pillaged by Xenos invaders.
You are naive, Sir Duke Man.
Rude.
Our chapter keeps are most often built upon worlds that have not yet been conquered by the Imperium. Just like our Emperor had in the early days of the Great Crusade, we continue to reunify the Imperium with mankind's lost tribes across the stars.
So, you often deal with humans, not yet enlightened by our glorious overlord, then?
We spread his light wherever we go.
And pray tell, what do you do with these tribes upon finding them?
We rip out whatever primitive religion established in the years of solitude by its roots, and replace it with the sacred edicts of our God Emperor. Anyone who looks the least bit suspicious is to be summarily purged like the fucking heretic that they are.
Naturally.
As is the case with your name, iconography, titles, and organization, we are going to have to work on your stupid archaic terminology, but that will be for another time. Continue.
Right, so when a recruit has been, well, recruited, they are subjected to the most punishing selection regimes imaginable to make sure they are worthy of joining the Eternal Crusade. The Templar chaplains ensure that the recruits are strong of spirit, and the chapter apothecaries check them down to the cellular level as to make entirely certain that they are free of the taint of mutation, as well as strong enough to live through the training they will be subjected to.
That's insane.
Never say never. Do not give up on your dreams.
Do you regularly check people down to the cellular level as to make sure they are not mutants?
Yes!
That is just fucking pedantic. You sound more like a bunch of insane house despots beset with germanophobia than you do Space Marines. Stop that immediately, please.
But...
Wait, sorry, my lords. I got a question.
What thoughts move in your tiny mind, boy?
Well, if Gadol told me stuff about the Codex the Star used before, and can you please, tell me again what the thing was about the companies?
There are 10 companies in a Codex Black chapter.
Yes, and each of them have a captain, and a chaplain, and then a Apache car?
Apothecary, yes. Get to the point, please.
Right, so each company only has 2 of those last ones, but the Templars have, like, a million or something?
What? What do you mean?
we do?
I mean, they have 1 Apache guy and 1 chaplain for each chapter keep. And from what I've heard, they build chapter keeps on each planet they take over. And since they've been taking over planets for a lot of years, long time, there must be many planets taken over.
I understand what Boy is trying to tell us.
You do?
He is saying that there must be a ridiculous amount of apothecaries and chaplains barked out in those Blackstone cabarets. More so than any other chapter, in fact.
Why deploy a dozen specialist roles per chapter when you can make 1,000?
I can appreciate that to certain extents, albeit these Marines might end up as shadows of true Astartes with their respective titles simply plastered on to create an air of authority. Compared to the few dedicated specialists in other chapters, the Black Templar specialists deposited on some tribal rock for the remainder of their service cannot possibly retain their fervor as Space Marines.
Do not worry, my Emperor. We never allow our Templars a moment of laxity, even if they are stationary. We make sure that the Black Templar of the Eternal Crusade always has something to fight. Be it Xenos, heretics, local fauna, unruly citizens, planetary tides, or severe anxiety.
I ever fight.
That and whatever disease inflicts your lungs.
And the darkness in my right eye.
Once a recruit has begun his training, he becomes a so-called neophyte. This, of course, means he has to sever all links to his previous life and begin a life dedicated to the Eternal Crusade. The neophyte then proceeds to train in the Shatter Keep, and once deemed ready, is transported to one of the Black Templar Crusades.
And where do they go from there? Do they have something similar to a scout company? As codexless as they are, even the Space Wolves have neophyte divisions in the form of blood claws.
I cannot see the Black Templars doing something worse than stuffing their neophytes into power armor and having them act as assault troops.
Ooh, ominous laughter.
No, sorry, it's just that instead of having a scout company or dedicated neophyte division with teachers specialized in raising new Marine, Templars instead have their neophytes separated one by one and then sent to individual Black Templar battle brothers. These brothers are called initiates, and they are to teach the young neophytes the ways of war and the sacred rituals of that chapter.
An initiate? Like a neophyte is given to another neophyte, or, what?
No, I mean...
What do you mean?
An initiate is a battle brother.
Of course he'd be a battle brother, but he's not a full Marine if he's an initiate, is he?
No, I mean...
Yes. An initiate is the term used for regular battle brothers in the Black Templars.
Yes!
What?
Thank you.
What?
That is dumb.
That is dumb. Thank you, my Emperor.
I suppose they do not mean initiate as in someone who has been initiated, but rather an initiator. Someone who is initiating the initiates, you know?
Nope, still dumb. That is still dumb. That is completely still dumb.
Why can't they just call them battle brothers?
Yeah, see? Even Boy thinks it's dumb. Even Boy thinks it's dumb.
Stop criticizing our holy edicts, unclothed one!
No, Professor Emperor is going to allow this. It is valid criticism, and you must take this verbal whipping for allowing such confusing terminology to plague the minds of your initiates.
Do you mean the initiates or the initiate battle brothers?
Obviously both, you fucking greaseball.
Makes sense, I guess.
Just to move on a little bit, so each neophyte is given to a fully fledged battle brother in the chapter, who is then expected to train the neophyte as a pupil, yes?
Correct. Each neophyte receives their own personal tuition and training by their initiate. They are taught about the chapter's history, its secrets, and the responsibility that comes with the Templar bloodline.
It is quite non-metaphorically a chapter dedicated to homeschooling. I understand quality control is not part of your asinine curriculum.
We find our system works much better than what that awful codex demands. Now our neophytes are allowed to fight side by side with our battle brothers and learn from their example. In return, these children learn to obey their masters without question, doing his every bidding, be it performing domestic chores, preparing feasts, or rinsing fluid recovery systems. A solemn oath is sworn by the Templar to train his neophyte, and will do so until the neophyte is ready to become a fully fledged battle brother, or until either of them dies.
Did you copy-paste your recruitment program from an old medieval tome?
What?
You could have just as well gone the full mile and called your neophytes squires, because that is what they are. They are squires to your knights. They are servants of a Templar, looking to become a Templar themselves. It is an ancient system that I cannot believe an organization of Space Marines has unironically picked up on.
The shame.
Professor Emperor can feel his bones rattle on a molecular level. Make it stop.
Excuse me, but aren't squires those silly, thin-limbed walkers that follow the Imperial Knights around?
My Imperial is so fucking stupid.
To go on further, over a period of years serving their initiates, the neophyte receives all necessary genetic implants. It is the initiate's decision as to when the neophyte has finished his training. Only then is the neophyte given his black carapace and his power armor.
Excuse me, Lord, but I have a question.
What boggles your brain, boy?
What happens if an initiate dies before training is done?
Well, according to this, if the neophyte's training is incomplete, another initiate will take him under his wing, but only if the initiate deems the neophyte worthy of his wisdom.
Oh fuck no, how would that even work? What if a neophyte, for whatever reason, is rejected by every single initiate nearby? What happens to him then?
Perhaps he is sent back to his home planet.
What if he already has loads of implants?
I do not see how that is an issue unless the gene seed is already implanted, so that's the only part that the start is an company that has any semblance of true worth.
And what happens if a gene seed has been implanted? Do they desperately attempt to surgically remove it, killing many a fight?
Making a lot of assumptions here. Why don't you let my answer this one?
This hypothetical situation does not happen in our chapter, my Emperor. So you do not have to worry.
This is not very reassuring.
If it were to happen, it is clear to see that it was the will of the Emperor, you, my Emperor, that said neophyte was not meant to enter the Black Templars.
So what do you do with him? If a gene seed has already been implanted, the only thing you can really do is to not waste this precious, limited resources to still keep him around until his progenoid glands have grown new gene seed, then kill him and extract it.
Kinda answered your own question there.
That sounds like an excellent idea, Emperor. We shall employ this strategy in future instances of this happening. Shoving them into the meat grinder has not been the most peerless of tactics.
Even if this occurrence is as infrequent as you make it out to be, I would greatly prefer you not waste significant resources and manpower to prepare and initiate, only to kill him, because he cannot be properly schooled and due to your net training high.
Well,
Nevertheless, continuing on, when a neophyte has finished his training, he then becomes an initiate himself.
Still as confusing as ever.
Initiates are organized into procedures, which are the most new.
Guess not.